How's it everyone? Welcome back. Mark here again with you. So this video is a follow-on from our more detailed video about documents and admin and what you need to teach in China. So if you haven't watched part 1 of the video on this topic, I really suggest that you hop over, have a watch of that one, and then come back to this video for a bit more context. So the focus of this video is on a little more detail of step 1 of the process, which was authenticating your documents. So just a reminder, we used 3 steps as our guide for getting your documents together and going through the process. Step 1 was authenticating documents. Step 2 was applying for your work permit. And step 3 was applying for the Z visa. Okay, so let's get into it. So the first document was the bachelor's degree, and that needed to go to SAQA first. So when it comes to SAQA, we advise contacting them, looking on their websites, and just seeing what the up-to-date information is about the verification process, because we know in the past this is a process that could be done by email or posting documents to SAQA. So always safe just to check on the website, give them a phone call to see exactly the process they want followed, the details and the costs, and hopefully some sort of a timeline that they can give you about the service. Right, then on your TEFL certificate, so there are 2 processes that need to be done initially on your TEFL certificate. The first is a notary stamp, and the second is a High Court apostille. Now, when it comes to the notary stamp, most lawyers are notaries, so probably could stamp that document for you. But after the notary stamp, you still have to go to the High Court and get that notary stamp attested further or get the apostille. So potentially you could get your TEFL authenticated in just 1 day. So our advice maybe is head to the High Court and get one of the attorneys at the High Court to do a notary, and then to get the apostille stamp done on the same day if possible. That would really be beneficial. So that's how we advise you go about getting your TEFL certificate done. It's one of the easiest documents to get authenticated in terms of the first step with the notary stamp and the High Court apostille. Okay, let's look at the police clearance then. So the problem with the police clearance is that it can take a really long time just to get this one document. And because your other documents need to go ultimately to DIRCO and still to the Chinese embassy, to have another 3 months just put onto getting your police clearance is really a difficult pill to swallow in this whole process of getting your documents. So our advice is pay the extra money and get an agent to do it for you. All right, because this really can make or break your whole timeline getting to China. And just remember with the police clearance, you also have to do everything within the 6 months that the certificate is valid for. So just bear that in mind. Really strongly suggest getting an agency to do the expedited police clearance for you, and they can get it in just a few working days. So that's really our advice. Okay, when it comes to DIRCO, think similar to SAQA, contact them, find out the information. Again, a lot of teachers who've come already to China were able to do the DIRCO process over email or by post, or those who lived close to DIRCO even were able to make appointments and go and drop their documents off. So again, start with the telephone query and a website query to see exactly what DIRCO are wanting you to do at the current time period that you are looking to get your documents done. I think the other important thing about DIRCO is once your documents are there, keep phoning, keep contacting to try and find out what the information is, especially if the timeline is going beyond a little bit more than what you expect. Most DIRCO applications, from what we've heard and what we've experienced, take about 3 to 5 weeks to get done at DIRCO. So that seems to be the timeline that they're working on, and hopefully things will improve a lot faster. And then the Chinese embassies and the Chinese consulates. So remember, the last part of your authentication of all your documents was that you needed to get the Chinese stamp at the Chinese embassy or the consulate. Now, the good news is that you can go to any of the embassies or the consulates in South Africa. So that is Joburg, Durban, or Cape Town, and that's a pretty easy process and just takes about 1 week once they have your documents. Okay, then we just want to talk about agents. Now, there are a number of agents who will handle this whole process of getting your documents authenticated for everything. They will do everything at SAQA, they will do all your documents at DIRCO, they can do your high court documents, they will do the Chinese embassy, everything for you. The only problem is that they can be pricey. But also know that they have contacts, and sometimes they even have a fast lane that everyday people don't have access to. So it's strong consideration to get one of the agents to handle things for you. They really do everything for you, and all you have to do is give them your initial documents, and then you just wait, and they handle every part of the process. So it can be incredibly convenient and useful. And these agents also know exactly what your needs are and what needs to be done for teachers specifically who go to China, because they do it quite often. So the only thing you have to manage is the expenses. Now, we know some of the teachers in our community actually took out a loan from family or from the bank to get these agents to do all the documents for them, and then paid them back in their first month of getting paid here in China. So the agents can make a really challenging process that can also be quite demotivating at times a lot easier. So give it some thoughts and weigh all the options up for you, because if you can afford to get an agent, it certainly, we think, is the way to go. Okay, that's it. We've put some details of the websites and emails in the description of the video for you to copy and paste. If you want some details of agents we know or that we've used, drop us a comment and we'll send you an email with some of those details. And also, if you have any other comments or questions, let us know in those comments below, or send us an email and we'll be happy to get in touch with you. So good luck. We promise it'll all be worth it. So cheers for now.